Tracey joins us today as she takes us through her musical journey and to tell us a little bit more about the way in which she inspires and empowers the young people of South Africa. Girl, who was the boss?
Thank you so much.
That was phenomenal. And also, I don't think everyone at home can appreciate those were raw, pure vocals. There was no backing vocalist. There was no backing track.
Yeah.
That was just all talent.
Thank you.
Who were the beautiful ladies that were up there with you?
So there are two fabulous women that have been singing with me for a long time. So it's Gio Lee Norke and Sarah Jane Seaford. So glad to have them here, showing off their pipes as well.
No, I'm so here for it. I mean, you started composing music at the age of 16. You have literally been passionate about the music industry for over 2 decades.
Yeah.
But I just want to find out about baby girl Tracey, where the whole journey started.
I loved music from day one. I remember my first performance, where I actually sang a solo. I was still in nursery school. I was 4 years old. And I sang at the school concert and I sang, alone there. And I loved that feeling, I think, it's being on stage, it's like eating avocado. You love it or you hate it. And
I can relate to that.
And I loved it from the first moment. And I loved, being on stage for me is one of my happy places. And I always pursued it, started teaching myself to play piano from the age of 9. And I just had this passion for it. And I came from a family that was passionate about the arts. My dad was an actor, he was a director, but nobody really in music per se. So I was going on this journey on my own. But it's been absolutely wonderful.
Girl, you are definitely where you are meant to be. And something else that you're also passionate about is not just the music, but you're also very passionate about community upliftment, empowering each other, especially the youth, Mzansi. So tell me a little bit more about that philanthropic side of you, and not only that, how is the music feeding into that?
Yes, and I think here, again, I think my dad had a big influence in that, and he left teaching in '94 and started a youth development organization. And after matric, I went and I was just doing a gap year and to see ideas and give back to the community. And 20 odd years later, I'm still on my gap year.
Tell me about it.
I've been doing it ever since. And through this, I think using the arts, it's such a powerful medium to both empower and educate. And I think that's why it's kept me here and kept me passionate about it, where we could, do songs, write productions and take it into schools to empower kids, their self-worth, their identity, but also dealing with things like literacy, HIV, AIDS, and using this powerful tool and this medium to reach our youth and for them to understand their value, their significance, and the role that they've got to play within building our country.
Girl, you are just such a powerful force within yourself. Even just speaking about the work that you do, I can see the passion oozing through you. I kind of want to liken it to a flame, like that fiery red flame. And you've taken this flame so far that you're even a director of an NGO titled, and I love this name, Afri-Can.
There we go.
So it's Afri-Can.
Because
that's so powerful.
You can, we can, African. And so that's the philosophy.
Goosebumps, like what?
and I think, coming, through our history, what we've come from, as Africans for a long time, our mindset was Afrikaans. Yeah. And it's all about why we can't get it right and things are going wrong and we don't have the resources and we don't have the money and we've had this can't mentality. But, I can is within our identity. It's part of who we are. And so as African, that's what we want to do. We want to flip the switch and for people to understand the capacity that is within them, the creativity, the gifting, the talents. And I always say, Africa's greatest treasure, it's not in her soil, it's in her people. And when people come to understand their capacity and give what they have to give, we will see things shift and turn around.
Wow, I love that. African. Blow us up on social media. Use that hashtag. I'm going to make it a new hashtag, African. Okay, wait, but something that you are also just so iconic, and I cannot get over this. You've been composing music and producing music locally and internationally, so much so that one of your most notable things that you've done is create a beautiful song for the Olympics, for an athlete, I do believe. Tell us about that experience.
It was absolutely amazing. And that was almost 20 years ago now. And, more than, to be honest with you. And I was 18 years old. And my dad is part of his youth development organization. Is obviously doing mentoring and so forth. And Penny Haynes she had sort of made a change in her life, and she was at the point where she didn't know if she actually wanted to continue swimming. And her coaches in Durban asked if she could come for the weekend and sort of, just to be spoken to and have a bit of life coaching, and she came. And this was before her real goals and everything. And my dad called me up while I was still at school. I'm a trick. He phones me and he says, listen here, I needed to write a song for Penny Haynes. She's coming to us this weekend. You got to. This is the same day. This is the Friday. And anyway, I go to our school principal and I said, listen here, sir, can I get off classes for today? I need to write a song for Penny Haynes, I mean,
what was I doing when I was 18? I certainly wasn't writing songs for Penny Haynes.
And anyway, I wrote the song for her. She loved the song. She asked me to record the song. I did. Her weekend year sort of redefined her purpose and understanding that the pool was actually her place to actually reach the world.
It was her stage.
And a couple of months later, she went to the Pan Pacific Games, and that's when she broke all these records and started winning the gold medals. And she actually played that song at all her TV interviews that she went to.
Oh my goodness.
And then because of that song, the next year was the 2 years later was the Olympics, the 2000 Olympics in Australia. And they asked me to write a tribute song to the Olympic team. And I was this young girl, 21 years old, and wrote the song, South Africa Sing, for the Olympic team, went and performed it for the whole team in Durban before they left. And they actually played it in Australia in the South African tent. So it was absolutely wonderful.
Goosebump inflicting stuff. The conversation could go on endlessly. There's so many things I still want to talk to you about. But luckily, we still have the entire hour with Tracey. Like, we know that one performance could never be enough for you, Mzansi. So we've got another one coming up in just a little bit at the end of the show. And if you definitely want to see some of that, please do stick around. We're also going to be putting Tracey's cooking skills to the test. She says that she's a chef, honey. So we're definitely here for that. And if you are also here for that, do not move a muscle.